Hello, YouTube and fellow comic book aficionados. I have with me today my haul for the entire month of November 2018. This is my first time filming a haul, and as you can see, it's a pretty decent size. So stay tuned, and we will take a look at all these books. Okay, first up, I have the 2 whole trades that I picked up this month. I try to keep my trade pickups to a minimum. My preferred method of collecting comics is in hardcover format, whether that be in a standard size, oversized, or a library edition. But I do have a decent amount of trade paperbacks as well, mostly of storylines that will probably never see a hardcover or oversized hardcover release. But I've been mainly picking up the Rebirth titles in the trades. That's how I prefer to read them. I don't really do single issues. I haven't for a long time. But so here we have the Volume 3 of Scott Snyder's All-Star Batman. Have not read either of these trades, but we'll get to it eventually. So, I don't know how many of you are picking up this title right now, but it's not half bad. Not as good as his New 52 Batman run, but I'm enjoying it. So, and then we have Deathstroke, Volume 5 by Christopher Priest. Again, decent. I think I prefer the Deathstroke from the New 52, Tony Daniel, better. But this is not bad for what it is. Deathstroke is my favorite Batman villain, as I've said before. So I enjoy this run. It's fun. Just take a flip through at the artwork briefly. Again, don't have much to say about either of these 2 volumes yet, as I have not read them, but plan on doing so very soon. Bonus content. So there's the trades, all 2 of them. Next up, I have a standard size hardcover, The Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman, written and illustrated by Liam Sharp. Again, don't really know anything about this, don't know what the storyline's about, other than that it's Batman and Wonder Woman teaming up. But it's Liam Sharp, so it can't be too bad. And I think this is just a mini-series. Everything's collected in this book. I think there's 6 or 7 issues, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys have read this, but look at that artwork. Liam Sharp, of course, was doing the Wonder Woman run with Greg Rucka. Phenomenal artist. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful artwork. There you go. Next up, I have 3 of the Rebirth Deluxe hardcovers, Justice League, Detective Comics, and Suicide Squad. These are Volume 3 of each of them. Again, haven't read any of these yet either. I'm a little behind on my Rebirth, but I prefer to collect these in the OHC format as well. So I read them as they come out. Again, a little behind, but this is how I prefer to read them. And then I collect the other ones that I I want to read in the trade paperback format that are not released in OHC. But yeah, take a look at some of the art really quick. I'm going to flip through these really briefly. I know Justice League is probably everybody's least favorite title from Rebirth. Definitely my least favorite as well. Haven't read any of the Scott Snyder run, but I hear it's a lot better. But I want to complete the Rebirth OHC collection, so I will be picking up every single one of these that they release. They look good on the shelf. So that's pretty gnarly. And this is the book that leads up to the Dark Knight's Metal event, as you can see there. So if you haven't read that, that is a phenomenal story. I have read that a little out of order, but you know. So we got Detective Comics here. Probably one of the better runs coming out of Rebirth. And if you're keeping up with it, we are almost to number 1,000 of Detective Comics. We hit number 1,000 on Action Comics earlier this year, and we are so close to that milestone on Detective Comics as well. Really, really amazing. That is an awesome feat to achieve. So that's volume 3. And then we have Suicide Squad volume 3. Again, not the best title in the Rebirth line, but fun nonetheless. And again, I want to pick up every single one of these Rebirth OHCs. And then if they ever release Omni buy, trade those in for that. The artwork has been consistently decent, if not really good, with Suicide Squad. You know, story may be lacking, but the artwork has always been great. Especially the first volume of the Rebirth OHC was Jim Lee. I think it was like 9 or 10 issues, and he was the artist on the first 10 issues. It was, of course, you can't go wrong with Jim Lee art. Absolutely beautiful. Sketches. All right. So there's your 3 Rebirth Deluxe hardcovers. Next, we have the 14th and final 15th volumes of Vertigo's Fables, written by Bill Willingham. To be honest, I have only read the first 2 volumes of these. I've been waiting to collect all of them, all 15 hardcovers, so I can do a big read-through. So I do not know anything that happens in either of these 2 volumes. But I definitely look forward to doing my big read-through. It's going to be fun. This series is phenomenal. It went on for so long, too. I'm going to say over 10 years. 10 or 12 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. But phenomenal stories from what I've read so far, and I can't wait to dive into these 2. And then I have the 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition of V for Vendetta. I've done an overview video on this one if you want to check it out, so I won't be flipping through this. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful book. can't wait to read it again. Next, I have 3 deluxe editions from Image Comics. Revival on the left, written by Tim Seeley, and Morning Glories in the middle, written by Nick Spencer. This is volume 2 of each series. I wanted to collect all 4 volumes of Revival and the 3rd OHC volume of Morning Glories before I start either of these. I like to do read-throughs all at once on series. That's how I like to binge read. So, and then if after the 3rd volume of Morning Glories, if I enjoy it enough, I may continue it in the trades. I know it never got a 4th volume, unfortunately. That bummed a lot of people out, but we'll just have to see. And then on the right is Injection, Volume 1, written by Warren Ellis. Know absolutely nothing about this series other than that it's written by Warren Ellis. So what else do you need? I don't dare flip through this on camera because when I did it earlier, there was quite a bit of nudity. So, so I won't be doing that. But those are my 3 Image books. Next I have Harbinger, Volume 2 from Valiant Comics. I'm trying to expand on my Valiant collection. I haven't read this. It's still in the shrink wrap, so I'm not going to open it just yet. But yeah, can't wait to get more into these awesome deluxe editions from Valiant. Next from Valiant, I have volumes 1 through 5 of Exo Manowar and the very sought after and long out of print Armor Hunters. I was lucky enough to snag all 6 of these books off of eBay from a seller. I forget exactly what he was asking for all 6 books. It was a pretty high price, but I was able to negotiate it down to where each book, including Armor Hunters, was about the same price as you would pay for one of these volumes off of in-stock trades, so about $28 a pop, which is awesome. Definitely considering 4 and 5 are not available on in-stock anymore. I think they are out of stock, if not maybe going out of print. And I know this book is very out of print, and it fetches some really high prices. It's, I think, over $100 by itself. I've seen it on eBay and Amazon, which is crazy. People pay that much for a book, but yeah, I was very lucky. Again, got all 6 of these per book for about the same price as you would get for one Valiant Deluxe on like in-stock trades, so about $28 a piece. Very lucky to have that. So really quick, I thought I would just show you some of the artwork from Armor Hunters. Just flip through this really quickly. Again, I know nothing about either Exo Manowar or this book. I know this is a crossover between Exo Manowar and a couple other titles. But yeah, definitely happy to have this, being as it's out of print. Some awesome artwork. Look at that. Some bonus content, sketches, and page layouts. Next, my 2 DC Omnibuy, American Vampire, written by Scott Snyder, and Deathstroke, the New 52 Omnibus by Tony Daniel. I have done overviews on both of these books, so you can go take a look at those if you want to see some artwork. And now we have the Mighty Thor Heroes Return Omnibus Volume 2, written by Dan Jurgens. I have not read this book, but I have read the first one. And I loved it. Thor is definitely one of my he is definitely my favorite Marvel character by far. I have the Mighty Thor by Walt Simonson Omnibus. Always on the hunt for that JMS Thor Omnibus. That's out of print and pretty pricey. Do not own the Stan Lee Omnibuy, but I have read most of that material in previous trade paperbacks. And of course, I love Jason Aaron's run on the character. I have the oversized hardcovers of those. We need a Jason Aaron Thor omnibus next. that's what I want, definitely. But this book, I can't wait to dive into this either. I think this is the one that has the Ragnarok storyline. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, art looks really, really good. This is like late 90s, early 2000s stuff. So yeah, really glad to have this one. I try to collect as much Thor as I possibly can. I've got quite a few Epic Collection trade paperbacks as well. So, Surtur. So there we go. Mighty Thor Omnibus Heroes Return Volume 2. Next I have The Witcher Library Edition by Dark Horse Comics. Love, love, love me some Dark Horse Library Editions. They are such well-made books, and they're huge, like absolute size huge. Usually with sewn binding. Nope, not. Sometimes they have a dust jacket, sometimes they don't. This one does not. It's just got this beautiful Mike Mignola artwork on the front. But again, don't know anything about this storyline. I am familiar with The Witcher. I've read a couple of the novels and a long time ago, and I've played the games again a while ago. But I am familiar with the character and the lore, so this is a welcome addition to my collection. I'm a big fantasy nerd, so things like that. Oop, a little bit of nudity. Books like this definitely are right up my alley. These pages are so thick, as are most library editions from Dark Horse. Very thick. But yeah, I think this collects 4 story arcs. Man, I just keep flipping to the nudity. Oh no, this looks awesome. I can't wait to read this. I'm telling you, worst luck. This is definitely a mature title, if you can't already tell. But if you're fans of the games and the novels, I would definitely recommend picking this up. I can already tell I'm going to enjoy this. As is typical with library editions from Dark Horse, there's a lot of back matter, a lot of extra bonus content, so they never disappoint in that aspect. So yeah, The Witcher Library Edition. Alright, last book of the haul is Deadly Class Volume 2 by Rick Remender. This is an Image Deluxe edition. However, it is much bigger than the typical deluxe editions. This is more of a library size, and I love it. Absolutely gorgeous to look at. I have the first volume of Deadly Class in this format, and that is how I first read Deadly Class was in that book. I didn't read anything past the first volume because I wanted to continue to read it in this format. It is just absolutely stunning. Take a look at it real quick. For those of you who don't know what this story is about, it's set, I believe, in the mid to late 80s, and it follows the children of mob bosses and high-ranking criminals who are sent to this academy to basically learn how to be assassins. Pretty cool premise. Definitely one of Rick Remender's best, if not the best, titles he's ever put out. I know a lot of people think this is his magnum opus. And I do know that this has been greenlit for a TV series. I think they've already cast most of the teenage actors. And I think it's going to air on the Sci-Fi Channel. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, these books are just absolutely beautiful. It seems like Rick Remender is the only writer who gets the big library-sized deluxe treatment from Image. A number of his books have been released in this format, namely Deadly Class, Low, can't wait for volume 2 of that, Tokyo Ghost, and Crawl Space as well, which is a collection of horror miniseries. But it's Rick Remender. That's probably why. The man is an absolute genius when it comes to storytelling. And as with the first volume, you get a bunch of bonus content, alternate covers, page layouts, sketches, script, more page layouts, more sketches. It's just packed to the brim with bonus content. Good job, Image. Keep pumping these out. We'll keep eating them up. Absolutely beautiful books. So there you go, Deadly Class, Volume 2. So there you have it. That is my graphic novel haul for November of 2018. Pretty decent month for me, I would say. But plenty of great books coming out next month and in the months to follow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, do that whole thing. And thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one.